reminder, so Bleach Horizon has been out for a couple days now, but what we do know is that on December 5th, we will be receiving our next SSR character, which of course is going to be Bankai Toshiro. I've had the pleasure of being able to play with the character in the past during the initial beta test, but if you are someone that is currently rushing through the game's main story mode, if you do get all the way to chapter 7, we actually get to try out the character once more. In a way, treat it as our first look at Toshiro, who will be here in less than 2 weeks' time. Now, the main thing about Toshiro as a character is that he is going to be our first SSR Spirit character, which is the blue typing. So, he is a popular character. Everyone surely likes Toshiro, but he is also going to be good from, in a way, a meta standpoint, for just being the only available full assault Spirit type SSR. I kind of forgot how the character does play because it has been like over 6 months, but I do remember or recall him being actually a very cool character. And we also in a way get to see Xiaolong in the actual story mode. So let's quickly showcase the character, why don't we? So having a look at his basic attack. Now keep in mind this is actually pre-Bankai, if I can even get a few hits in. A lot of AoE with this character. I do like the slash from the left to the right. So the third and fourth final hit, I do like. Let's block. This is counter. Just a slash up into the air. Very simple character. But what you can see in the bottom left is that we are building up the Hyunimaru spiritual pressure gauge. So with that, I believe his first skill actually just changed. So let's go ahead and use that. That's kind of crazy. I remember now. So yeah, he actually has basically an ultimate. Oh, hold on. We've transformed. Never mind. This is crazy. Again, I've I played with the character, but this was like many months ago. I kind of forgot how he does play. Let's block. So he has like multiple transformations. If I recall, I don't think I wanted to de-transform once you activate the Bankai, because that is something you actually can do. So you actually get a really cool cinematic on the first skill. Now this tells me the future of SSRs are going to be absolutely crazy, because every character we have played with thus far, minus Yoruichi and also Sajin, were basically in the game 3 years ago during the beta test. Oh, let's block away. Let's flash them away. Let's use the first skill, though. Simple attack. That's when you don't activate the Hyunimaru gauge, which we are building up right now. And again, we don't have the Bankai, but every SSR since, so basically Toshiro, Sajin, and Yoruichi, are very flashy in the design. Even Sajin, who I think is like the worst SSR in the game right now, still a good character to have, and someone I want to own for Yoruichi, has a really cool Bankai mechanic. It's a shame you don't get to use it much, but he does have still really cool gameplay visuals for the most part. One thing I do want to point out is that Xiaolong actually does have a, what do you call it? A flash step. Damn, I'm forgetting it right now. It's the flash step Sonidos. It has a Sonido. So I'm hoping that actually translates into Ranka characters having unique flash step animations and sound effects, you know, because they aren't flash stepping, they're performing Sonidos. Let's restart though, just to reset Xiaolong's HP to get a bit more usability with this character. Next up, once we do actually activate the Bankai, or once we get the opportunity to use the ultimate, we will definitely do that. But like, this is crazy to me that he basically does have a transform state, which he can get very quickly. Like, we got that super quick, even while not transformed in the Bankai. So you have 3 forms with Toshiro. His base form, an enhanced Shikai form, I guess is what we can call it, but also an extra use of the spiritual, or his technique. And then we also have a Bankai. So Toshiro right now, it seems crazy. I've already been saving up all my resources for this character, which is why I did recommend re-rolling for Ichigo. That way, every gem you do get spiritual jades, and therefore golden ticket, you can just use into Toshiro. But look at this. We are flashy as hell. We are flying around the place. We're not even sitting on the floor. Okay. So the thing about the Bankai, as far as I recall, unless they've changed it, does he not, he just can't de-transform? We can just stay in this form forever. And the counter then turns into an attack. So very similar to Bankai Ichigo, the visored form. Once you do, I believe, get his core stamp, he does actually get an additional attack on the counter, which I think is really good. Extra ways to get attacks. So it seems like, I don't think we can de-transform. I mean, the bottom left, I can see here that the petal only has 2 out of 3, but I don't think it's going away. But there are like smaller petals in the bottom left that once we do use his technique, we do actually gain the opportunity to then use the counter, or turn the counter into an attack. And hopefully that does actually deplete their spiritual gauge, because that'll be really good for just trying to break the enemy's guard, I guess you can call it, to therefore then get more damage. But let's jump back into it. I actually need to use the animations. I know I'm just talking too much, but we do need to have a look at the character's ultimate once we do activate the Bankai, which I'm pretty sure does de-transform him. To be fair, you probably want to de-transform because then you get to spam your attacks again once more. I don't think there's a reason to staying here, but I would be curious to see, once we can get the full information on the character's kit, you know, what the exact passives are, what the exact skills do, for example, on what would be the best course of action with a character like this. But I'm really liking this form, honestly. His Bankai is obviously really cool, but I do like that the Shikai form does have a extra effect. So let's go ahead and transform once more, activate his Bankai. I'm a Toshiro fan, but I'm really liking Toshiro right now. So we are building up the petals. We have 1 right now. Make sure to use the counter attack. Then we're building up 2. And I'm not sure what builds up 3. I guess the Bankai or ultimate skill while in Bankai is... Oh, he's flash stepping or Sonidoing all over the map right now. Let's use our counter. And then let's use the ultimate right now. Final slash. That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good damage too. That's crazy. So you definitely do want to de-transform because once you do, you instantly activate this mode. So like, you're just going to be having crazy back and forth. Ultimate into the basic form, into the enhanced Shikai form. At no point, I think, with this character is there going to be any slow moments. Which I think is probably a good thing for the character right now because at least the way this character wants to be used. I mean, we did speak about it in the best teams for each typing. Right now, spirit characters are basically non-existent. And with Rukia's gameplay rotation, you definitely want to switch into her just to get the freeze, but you ultimately can just rely on the battlefield skill if you want to stay in Toshiro. We're likely going to use either Momo. She is also a new SR character that will be releasing alongside Toshiro. And then we'll also have Kisuke too. So you probably will be switching in and out like usual just to keep your attack boost active at all time, at least with Toshiro. But for the other spirit characters, you know, Orihime and also Uru, you probably wouldn't use too much. Definitely not Uru, since she does fulfill the same role as a full assault unit. And we'll probably mention it in another video, but if you are someone that is interested in pulling or summoning, especially after seeing the gameplay today, Toshiro, you definitely want to start working on Rukia, because right now she is going to be the dedicated battlefield tactical unit for that team until we can eventually get an SSR. But yeah, this is pretty much Toshiro in a nutshell. I'm actually excited to continue on with the story, especially as we do get future updates, because it would be really cool if we can continue a process like this, where we not only get to play the character in the story mode, we kind of get to do that with Bankai Ichigo, but it would be really cool too if we can see them in story mode first before we even get to see them in-game and summon for them. Because then it's like a nice little test play of the unit before the character does release, just to get a bit more excited for the character, and in a way let you know if you want to summon for them before getting the full official reveal. Also, worth noting too, I only just now realized this, even though we are wrapping up the video, Toshiro can freeze. So like, that's kind of crazy too. Because, you know, Rukia right now is a character I'm loving in my team just for the sole purpose of being able to freeze the enemies. The perma-stun, the free attacks is actually really clutch, and that paired with now Toshiro's extra freezing capabilities, I think is going to be really good. I'm kind of curious to see if he can freeze as much or as long as Rukia, but regardless, this is going to be really good. They're going to be really good. Let's actually end up once more with the ultimate. Capable of doing some pretty good damage right there. Super fast rotation, and again, we just instantly activate the enhanced Shikai form. So if you lads are excited for Toshiro as much as I am, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and also let me in the comments below if you are planning to summon on Toshiro. Hope to see you lads there. Take care, and peace.